Hey, how you doing? This is Lou 40 here, aka Phil Buster 4. Back again for another little rant or whatever. And again, I'm going to discuss because it's been in the news and it's still a huge problem now. Is the opioid epidemic. More importantly, kind of what many have seen as being kind of like a major mistake, and that is the FDA's approval of a very powerful, strong opioid by the name of Disuvia. Now it's this is a major issue because of course the opioid epidemic is killing, is knocking motherfuckers off, like crazy and all that. And but it's important to know this is 10 times stronger than like fentanyl. It's in the same class. Fentanyl is now the drug that, more so than heroin or even prescription drugs, prescription opioids, that is causing all the major ODs. Fentanyl has replaced heroin in many instances. But it has been approved. And I guess the sad thing is that many people are arguing that while you need to treat pain and you need to make sure that that is being taken care of, this is only going to add fuel to the fire. Now, the thing about this is that this is also political, because you have to understand that the Disuvia basically came from, in a sense, the military. The military has in many ways been interested in opioids and all that for the specific use of having drugs that they could use on the battlefield. And so they have, in many ways, the military has funded research and development in opioids for that exact purpose, which already adds a little bit of a question here, because if you need it for the battlefield, then you don't necessarily per se need it overtly in civilian life, because battlefield is kind of like the maximum amount that you should need, and it's not something that necessarily is needed in civilian life. I mean, but this is where it gets political and all that, is because not only that, but we also have to remember that many of the pharmaceutical companies and all that make these drugs and everything are have spent tons more money, sometimes more money than the NRA in terms of lobbying to kind of the simple fact of the matter is that regardless of whether or not we want to look at this, whether we want to ignore it or we want to acknowledge it, is that the opioid epidemic, is a national crisis. And sad thing is that in terms of its presence in the media, it's not really being looked at that much anymore. It's not. It still is. You are now more likely, all right, to die from an opioid overdose than you are in a car accident. That's how bad this shit has gotten. But yet, most Americans, are more likely to die from an opioid overdose than an actual car accident. That's some sad shit right there. And yet, not much is really being done about it. We don't see too many, we don't really see too much, in Washington or anything like that being done to deal with this gigantic crisis here that is killing us. This is basically, our new, millennials' new, AIDS epidemic in some cases. You could say that. And yet nothing has been done. Nothing federally really has been done. This is disgraceful. And you still have the FDA approving these newer, stronger, more powerful drugs and all that, and continuing to let these things into the market with this idea that hey, not really thinking about the fact that this could be contention for abuse and a new thing that people are going to be that are going to be using and end up dying over. This is some really fucked up shit. Let's just call it what the fuck it is, man. Seriously. Okay, I'll put it to you like this. Just like Santa Claus and Tooth Fairy in Switzerland really don't exist, neither does the government's interest in really dealing with this problem anymore. It doesn't matter, it seems like. So that's just something for you to think about. So until next time, just remember, when you're sipping your morning cup of coffee and you're waiting for that white flash, followed by that mushroom cloud, remember that we did this shit. We did. Till next time, Blue Ford.